So a while back we made mention that we hadn't been sharing with you a big part of Diane's and my life, which is pickleball. And now we're back on the road for the summer. We're going to start hitting some pickleball courts. I thought I'd share a few with you in a couple videos. And this will be the first one. So we're staying at the fairgrounds in Central Point, Oregon. There are a few pickleball courts around the area. Today I'm headed into Grants Pass. We're going to play on some new courts they have there, and they call it the Pickleball Complex. I think they call that the Pickleplex, they call it. And I've never even played on these courts yet before. These weren't here when we left the area. But I'm going to share those with you today, and then we'll share some others throughout this video. Come along with me. Anyway, here we are. You can see the courts right ahead of us. There's I think 6 courts right here, and then there are 2 more courts up above, and I'll show you all those. Alright, so these are the courts down by All Sports Park, and this is called the Pickleplex. Let's take a little walk around. There's some basketball courts, horseshoe pits, lots of pickleball courts. Check it out. So the courts are done up in a couple sections. So you have 3 pickleball courts up here. You have a back fence, and you have a small set of bleachers over there, which is nice. So if they're doing tournaments, people have a place to sit. That's pretty well thought out. Actually, the bleachers are sitting in the shade this time of day. And same thing, you have timers here, and you have a lot of cameras checking it out, but this is all lit. And there is 2 full-size basketball courts over there with timed lights as well. And then if we walk over here, we'll leave these 3 courts, and you might be able to see there's a bunch more courts right over there. Let's go check those out. Alright, so right outside these pickleball courts, you'll notice there are a bunch of horseshoe pits. Small playground area for the kids. Here they have a small job box, and if you are a member of the pickleball club, they'll give you keys so you can get in there, and there's some balls and paddles and whatnot. Let's take a look at these courts. All right, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courts over here. And then down at the very end is a tennis court. And same thing. Lights. Down that post is a panel for the timer. Lights. Yeah, nice setup. So in the immediate Grants Pass area, I'd say the Pickleplex is the place to come play. You can pretty much be assured to find play every morning here, I'm sure. Let's move on. If you have a hard time finding those courts, this is another parking lot, and that is all Sports Park down there. So you can park here and just walk over, no big deal. Don't forget about All Sports Park. If you have kids or dogs or pets, they have softball fields, soccer fields, ponds with ducks and whatever else. Walking trails. It's a nice park to come down and hang out. This is a pretty busy area. Also, for the record, for all these courts around Grants Pass area, so I mean there's quite a few courts. You have here by the All Sports Park at the Pickleball Plex. They play at YMCA, they play at Fruitdale. I think there's about 4 or 5 different places in town that they get together to play. And they use a program called Pickleball Scheduler, I think it is. I'll put it here in a video to make sure it's called Pickleball Scheduler. And that gives an idea of how many people are planning on playing at that location, at what time, on what day. So there might be 4 or 5 courts right now, different locations being played at, as well as here. And when they sign up with that Pickleball Scheduler, it also shows the level. So it'll give the name and the level of play. So everybody out here today, I think, started out at 3.5. They probably went to 4.0, 4.5. But it'll show, so that way if you're a 3.0 player and you don't want to go play with a bunch of 4.5 or 5.0 people, you don't have to go there. Or if you're a 4.5 or 5.0 and don't want to go play with 3.0s, then you'll know that too. But just keep that in mind. Pickleball Scheduler, sign up for that, and it'll give you an idea of every court in Grants Pass, what their schedule is to play. Then if you're actually staying in the Central Point area, One of the top places in the Central Point area is the Don Jones Memorial Park. We're going to check out those courts, see what it looks like. Let's go check it out. All right, so here at the Don Jones Memorial Park, right now they have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 courts set up for play, but they have room. They have 6 courts lined out, so you could play 6 courts, and it's all temporary nets. And these courts can be used for tennis or pickleball, and it's really attached to a nice park. So if you have 4-legged friends or kids, it's a nice little neighborhood park right here. The basketball court over there, some play equipment for the kids, bathrooms over there it looks like. Yeah, being we're only about 5 miles away from here, I think we'll be playing here during our stay to check it out. All right, so we just walked around the Don Johnson Memorial Park, and they had the pickleball courts I showed you in the video. There was about 23 people there, I guess, playing. Looked like they were all having a great time. Looked like nice folks. Out of the 23, we stood around at each court and watched for a while. There was one guy came to the fence, asked why we didn't have our paddles with us to play. The rest of them didn't give us a glance or a smile or come in and play or nothing, which is fine. You know, I kind of judge that when we walk around places looking at courts, is how friendly people are. I'm always one to go, hey, come on in and play. Do you play or whatever else? That's just me. And I kind of judge that when we're walking around courts. So take that for what it's worth. But they look like they were all having a great time, look like great people. I am going to grab my paddle and come up here and play at least one time. No, no more, but yeah. So keep this in mind if you're staying at the Southern Oregon RV Park, for example. This is only like 4 miles away. Very easy and convenient to get to. Now we're going to go check out another park. All right, now we're at Holmes Park. This is also in Medford, Oregon. It's out in the neighborhood. It took us a little bit to get out here. It wasn't very far, but it was really a twisty road getting out here. So let's go check this out. All right, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4 courts, temporary nets. But well lined out, nice courts. I see 2 people playing barefoot here. I've never seen that before. The lady over there is playing barefoot, and the lady in the pink is playing barefoot. How cool is that? I've never seen that before. And Holmes Park is another one in the neighborhood. Nice trees. Have some swings for the kids. There's a trail that goes around it. Big playground area over there. Restrooms, parking, some covered area for shade. Yeah, it's a nice park. All right, so the Holmes Park here in Medford, another one in a neighborhood, and this is really in a neighborhood. Oh, yeah. You're in a neighborhood, nice neighborhood. Nice park, walking trail around it. You saw the playgrounds, restrooms. They had 4 temporary courts lined out on a couple of tennis courts. And we sat around, and there were a couple people come by and asked if we played, made sure we knew how to use the pickleball scheduler, that we knew about that to find games around town. So the friendly group that we ran into, a lot of smiles from some that didn't even come over to talk, but they just smiled. So anyway, it looked like a nice group, 4 courts, someplace I'd come play. A little farther off the beaten path, so if you're staying at Southern Oregon RV Park, for example, a little farther to get to, but good play here. And again, we'll go on to the next park. Now we're at the Village Center Park. It's on the very outskirts of Medford. You can see a couple courts behind me. Maybe there's 2 courts here. Nice park area. Here, check this out. I'm just going to spin you around. Here at the edge of town, nice farmland out there. Look at the valley view. There's a walking trail around through here. Looks like a nice neighborhood. You have a basketball court, and you have 2 courts, and they're permanent pickleball courts, and a big playground area for the kids. And again, look at the view. Very nice. Yep. Only 1 court being played here today. All right, so the Village Park had 2 courts, as you saw. But they're permanent courts, right? They had posts and nets are there permanently, so very nice. Edge of town, very pretty area of town. We would live in this area of town. Just give us a acre of land over here to park the RV. We hang out right here. But only 2 courts, 1 court playing. We didn't go down and hang out. It was 4 ladies playing, kids and stuff. So we just got you a little shot of the place, and we're going to move on to the next one. We don't know where that's going to be, but we'll go check out another spot. All right, we're going to go to the Fitchner Mainwary Park. I played here a few years ago. The place is packed with other activities, but we're going to go see what's going on for pickleball today. We'll check it out. So they have the lock box outside, so if you remember, no doubt you can get a key and have access. These down here are lined out for pickleball. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 courts right here and 4 courts right there. So you'll be able to get 8 courts. All right, so we just finished up playing here. You can see that you have court 1, 2, 3, 4 courts lined out with a tennis net dividing. And then another 4 courts over here. So that gives you 8 courts, all temporary nets. They put up some little dividers so the ball doesn't roll off in the other nets all the time. Then they have a job box outside here that I'm pretty sure if you're a member, you get a key to or a combination to, and they have all the temporary nets inside there, and I don't know, balls or whatever. So a nice setup. Then a couple tennis courts over there, and then there's, I don't know, 4 tennis courts, a couple fences over, and then a huge park out here. So, nice folks, really enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll come back here again and play. All nice people. All right, well, they were a friendly group there. We had a lady come up and saw our pickleball rock shirts and asked if we played, and made sure we knew about the pickleball scheduler again on the for the apps. That was nice. Had a guy say hi. So they were a friendly group in there. I played there probably 4 years ago. And everybody was really friendly, so I'll probably come up here and hopefully get a couple games in during our stay, but that's another option for you. And again, all these places are found on the pickleball scheduler if you come around or anywhere in the country. So that's a handy thing. I think we'll try and find another court or 2 to look at too. Let's see what we find. All right, so now we're at Fruitdale Park in Grants Pass. We'll show you the pickleball courts that are here. I'll flip you around and show you. All right, here you go. So nicely fenced off in a neighborhood. You have 3 courts here. We'll just cruise in this one. Give you a peek. There you go. There's one. Actually, it's even numbered. Number 1. You come over here. There you go. Court number 2 and court number 3. And then off in the distance over there, you see those cars. There's a school there. And then that big open area, they play soccer and whatever else. It's just a school district. All right, that's the 3 courts at Fruitdale. Now, at the time of this video, you'll notice outside the fence a couple of tents. That's because Grants Pass has a horrible, horrible problem with the homeless. What's sad is, I'm just going to speak it out right here. Grants Pass, you have youth coming out here playing pickleball. You have youth out there playing soccer. You have a school right over there. If I was going to walk behind me 50 yards, you'd have homeless camped out in a soccer field where the kids come play. I'm not saying anything bad about the homeless. I get it. But Grants Pass, shame on you. Grow a pair. Get them people a place to stay away from the parks and the schools. Let the kids have their time out being kids without parents having to worry about them. Grants Pass, grow a pair. All right, I'm off my high horse. Grants Pass pisses me off with all the homeless they allow around their town. In fact, people can't even go to the county parks. They can't go to the city parks and do what they do as families because homeless has taken over the whole area. And they got sued one time, and they're damn scared to do anything now to take care of the problem. They let them run over them, do what they want with the damn city. Anyway, these are 3 courts. If you want to come down play in them, there they are. You're probably just fine doing it. But truth be known, there's some nicer courts in nicer areas of Grants Pass. All right, now we're in Rogue River, Oregon. On the other side of that walk bridge are some pickleball courts. Let's go take a look.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, that's it.
There you go, right inside that fenced-in area right there. All right, looks like it's expanded a little bit. Last time I was here, there were just 2 courts and they were temporary nets. Now it looks like they have 2 courts here for temporary nets, and they have 2 permanent courts. So that's a nice improvement. Here you go. Yeah, the only courts they had were these 2 right here, and these have been resurfaced, it looks like, and they have set posts and nets. Very nice. And over there in that building you have restrooms, it looks like. You hear that thing running, they're going to do some kind of work over there, it sounds like. But there used to be a toolbox over by the fence with a lock on it that had balls and paddles. That looks like they've taken that out. And then if you were a member of the club, you had a combination to the lock and you can get paddles and balls and whatever you needed to. But anyway, this is a nice improvement having the permanent nets in place. But now Rogue River play, there's not a lot of it here. Typically this is invite type thing, so some people are going to get together in the evening, have 4 people or 6 people or whatever. They'll come out and they'll just have an invite out here and play in the evenings. It's not used a whole lot. But anyway, it's something to keep in mind if you're in the area. Rogue River Pickleball. All right, let's jump ahead about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Look behind me. These are the Lawn Ridge courts that were under construction just a few minutes ago in this video. Let's walk down there and check them out. Caveman Fence did the fencing here. They did some fencing on some of our properties. Here we go, just walk out and check this out. So before, as I mentioned, there used to be a couple tennis courts in here. Man, check this out. Brand new courts. Last time I was here checking it out, there was no nets. I think it was just posts here, if I remember correctly. And there's the basketball court. So two courts. Partial fence in between, that's nice. All fenced in, that's great. Yeah, this is nice. And this is at Lawn Ridge Park. So, and what you're seeing now in this picture is really the park. So you have some bathrooms over here. You have a playground over there for the kids, a small playground, and this grassy area. And that's it, right? So you have houses all around this. It's just 2 courts in a neighborhood. Wow. Got some tournaments coming up. Oh, got a little standing water here, which is kind of odd because it hasn't even rained, so I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, all right, so check this out. So the courts are open from 7 to 10:30, probably because it's in a neighborhood. They don't want people out playing late. Here's a timer, and the courts are lit. So they've really done these up nice. See the lights up there? Very good. Okay, there you go. Lawn Ridge Pickleball Courts, Grants Pass, Oregon. Another great spot to come play. All right, so now we're at the Lithia Park in Ashland, Oregon. There's 8 courts back behind us. I don't know if you can see them back there in the trees. We're going to walk down and give you a little tour of those courts real quick. All right, looks like we have one foursome still playing. It's kind of late in the day. I think it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go down here and take a look. All right, so there are the courts in Lithia Park. Now, for the record, right across the street from the pickleball courts is the Japanese Gardens. Right outside the pickleball courts is a great trail system in Lithia Park. So if you come to town, be sure and check out Lithia Park, not just the pickleball courts. It's really something to see.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, that's it for Ashland and the pickleball courts here. Now, I guess I will say, we came out here a few weeks ago. On the weekend, they had some tournament going on, a round robin tournament. So there's some good play. Keep in mind, Ashland is a college town, so you can get some young players out here. So if you older farts like us like to get a little challenging younger play in, it's a great place to come and get your butt handed to you. Anyway, all right, we'll move on. We're going to stop right there. That gives you a pretty good idea of where you can play in the Southern Oregon area, even though there are a couple more options. For example, the YMCA. Now, we're not members of the YMCA, so we can't show you that, but at least you'll know about it. Number 2 would be the college in Grants Pass. That's more geared toward the winter months. They put together a program when it gets colder and wetter. Another option is a country club out in the Medford area. We're not members of the country club, so we can't show you that either. And there's a couple private courts in Grants Pass. So if you pass through and you happen to run into the right people, you might get invited out to play at one of the private courts, but highly unlikely if you're just passing through, but you never know. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully we gave you some ideas of places to play pickleball in Southern Oregon. If you enjoyed this video at all, have it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Consider hitting that subscribe button. As always, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. And as Rodney would say, pickleball rocks.